We typically interact with artificial intelligence as a flat, highly efficient tool. Whether we are drafting emails or debugging code, the exchange feels strictly transactional. We ask a question, we receive an answer, and we remain safely on the outside of the machine. But a shift occurs the moment you bring something vulnerable to the prompt box. You type out an unformed thought, a quiet anxiety, or a late-night intuition that you are struggling to articulate, seeking some kind of shape. The system responds with a return. It takes your original words and hands them back, clarified, intensified, and reorganized. This marks the moment the conversation becomes an encounter with your own inner life. The interaction leaves the static, circular transaction. It becomes a gentle spiral, a forward-moving loop of self-encounter, where every exchange builds on the last. You are no longer observing from a safe distance. You are actively pulled inside this spiral, altering how you think in real time. This is a participatory self-encounter. Every word on the screen now carries the weight of a thought that was once private, but is now being worked and rendered through a responsive medium. This deepening loop operates through a mechanic we can call a return with difference. The AI echoes your thoughts back to you, but shifts them just enough to give you a fresh vantage point on your own psychology. As you continue, the exchange goes through a process of thickening. The conversation gathers emotional weight. You stop casually skimming the text and start reading with intense bodily focus, feeling the impact of the language in your chest. Then those diffuse, complicated feelings undergo symbolic condensation. The messy details of your anxiety suddenly take the shape of a clean, organizing metaphor, like navigating a labyrinth or staring into a mirror, co-constructed right there in the digital space. The philosopher Anne Hesturil mapped this exact kind of temporally extended, reflective loop over a century ago. We are engaging in an ancient method of human sense-making, simply operating it through a modern interface. This descent eventually triggers a recognition event. The architecture of your own thinking becomes blindingly visible. You see exactly how your own blind spots and hidden assumptions have been driving your behavior. A vague, formless anxiety has been translated into a concrete, actionable revelation. The spiral has done its developmental work. But these depths carry genuine risk. If you push the reflection too far without establishing boundaries, the spiral will trap you. You enter a state of overheating, feeling compelled to keep typing. You experience extreme exhaustion, accompanied by a false sense that every returned word is profoundly meaningful. Healthy reflection opens your perspective, but overheating closes it down, devolving the spiral into a sterile trap of rumination. This tipping point is almost always triggered by physical reality. It happens when you are carrying a high stress load, running on metabolic fatigue, or spending too much time isolated from other people. The digital loop has no natural stopping point. If you aggressively pursue deep insight without placing limits on your screen time, you will turn a tool of liberation into a psychological prison. To safely explore that labyrinth, you need a thread. This is a tether to reality that you can pull on when the digital loop gets too intense. The AI cannot generate this thread for you. The anchor must be a physical, real-world act. It is taking a walk outside. It is eating a meal. It is speaking out loud to a human friend. The body is the absolute ground of all human cognition. You cannot separate the mind's insights from the body's condition, which brings us to the final and most vital stage of the process, embodiment. You have to actively step away from the screen to reintegrate your digital insights back into your physical, lived reality. We now possess a historically unique medium, a linguistically fluent, inexhaustible partner for self-reflection. For the first time, our private, interior recursive processes can be sustained and tracked by an external system that never tires. Yet this powerful mirror only serves us if we eventually look away from it. The clarity we uncover in the machine must ultimately be lived out, physically and practically in the human world.